do a quick analysis today right now myself, so be quiet for a couple minutes and we'll get into it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So right now what I'm doing is I'm looking at, I haven't had a chance to look at the chart just before 8 o'clock, but right now I'm mapping where price could go today. And based on what I'm seeing here, from the daily, let's maybe go top down here. From daily, price has dug into this daily SIBI marked in red. Right now it's below its midpoint. And just looking at price action, what price did is price pumped up to an all-time high. There was an aggressive drop lower. On the 20th, price almost took out the previous low, which is November 27th. Price rallied higher over the holidays. Right now it's slowing down. But right now we have to decide using lower time frames where our bias is going to be. If it's going to be if price wants to stop at this daily SIBI and go lower to these relative equal lows and these lows here at 669, or if it wants to continue higher and attack these highs here and ultimately all-time highs as well. What we have as well on the daily is we got a SIBI here. Okay. Get rid of these. Make it cleaner. So if price were to be going higher today, I would expect it to, just look at the daily here, digging into the SIBI and going higher. If it does go higher and leaves us open, it's probably going to be a very bullish run, but this is something that we're going to be looking out for today. There is no news today. It is Friday. It's the week of the holidays. I'm not expecting for much to happen today, but if something does present itself, then hooray for us. Here's our daily SIBI here. Now I'm looking at the 4-hour. Looking at the 4-hour fair value gap, and maybe even looking at where we're at right now in the range from low to high. We are above the midpoint, so we're in a premium level. What we have here on the 4-hour is we've got 4-hour to see as well. So it makes sense to what's on the daily. Price already dug into it once. Kind of popped higher a bit. Went into the SIBI here from Thursday at 2 o'clock. Very low energy since then. It was the Asia and the London session. Maybe it's of the hour. Let me just turn this to a 1-hour BISI. Very similar. Essentially what we want to see here is that there's just a lot of support from a BISI standpoint. It's a BISI, not a SIBI. And right now what's catching my eye, it's just these two levels here on the daily and on the 1-hour that it could fill. and this essential double/triple top, depending how you see it. So if I were to be trading today and if a setup were to occur, this might be potential level number one. Do I see the sell side being attacked? I'd want to see these two levels being broken along with the daily SIBI. The moment it leaves it, then my eyes are going to be on the shorts. So that's how I'm seeing it today. I'm long until these gets broken. That's where my bias is. And then once these gets broken, then it's going to be short attacking this low right here. And then these equal lows here on the daily that I have mentioned before. So that's kind of what I see on the higher time frame. Moving into the 15-minute chart, gives us a bit more detail on what's on the 1 hour. Flipping triangles here, let's clear them if I do. 15, okay. So here's that liquidity that's piquing my interest. This is also interesting, these new dog opening gaps and the new week opening gaps, new daily and new weekly. Today is the 27th, so this is today's new week opening gap. You can see price opened up, got right below it, came to the new week opening gap, 12.27. Punched up higher, is back lower. So what is this telling us? That we have a clustering of new week and new day opening gaps above us. But then at the same time, we have a pretty big clustering below us as well right here. What price does, it usually goes towards clusterings. And since we have two clusterings, then we got to be extra careful today. Along with no high impact news and these clusterings. So I can see price want to gravitate to this week's new week opening gap and then lower, attacking the double bottoms that we talked about here, or it might go higher. So as of right now, if anything, it's going to be scalps today. Higher time frames are showing me two different stories, but I am more long than short. Gun to my head. And on days where you're not sure yourself, you're not confident if it's going to go long or short, those are the best days that it's best not to trade. But the moment you see yourself second guessing yourself, and first you're long, then you're short, and then you're short, and then you're long. Usually those are the days that you lose money. So, okay, so the 15 minutes tradable areas that I'm looking at here. As yesterday's open, it spiked lower, drew to swing, and then it pushed higher into the new week opening gap of 12.16. That's where price couldn't break, and then it went lower. Like once price starts breaking this level, that's when we start questioning ourselves to see if there is a bullish bias. Price tried to explore this area yesterday, it rejected. It's going to try to tap into that once more, possibly. Okay, now let's get the 1 minute now. So at 8 o'clock, so at 7 o'clock, that's when the pre 9:30 algo kicks in. And essentially what we do is we start looking for relative equal highs and relative equal lows and start hunting for them. I'm just going to double check right now. I didn't see any news today. Forexfactory.com. Yeah, so there's no medium or high impact news. It's all yellow news, low impact. Good trade balance, premium wholesale inventories. And at 10:30, we have natural gas storage. But at 1 o'clock, we have something more. We have crude oil inventories, but nothing here is of value to us. You can see here, here are our first relative equal highs here. Are these relative equal highs? I think they are. The high here is 950. 950. So relative equal high, level 1. This is also another high. These two are relatively high to each other. These are relatively equal highs to each other. These are some levels that price can gravitate to. The only issue with this is we do have this end dog here of 1209. That's in our way. We got to be a bit careful. Price at 7 o'clock, it dropped lower. It was in a bearish ordered flow this whole time. It was respecting bearish fair value gaps, the downside. There's one. Depends how you draw this in, but the higher fair value gap is here. Okay. So right now, if I'm looking for an MMS to the upside, technically here would be the first one. Here would be the inversion fair value gap. But the only issue with this is you're trading back into a level of support and resistance, which is NWOG 1209. So this is the new week opening gap from 2 weeks ago, which is still a sensitive area. Usually we look at the past 5. And this is not something that I would personally trade. But we may see price here continuing on this very first instance of changing market direction, coming back, retesting this area, and then pumping higher and trying to re-break through this new week opening gap. Price can also hit this new week opening gap and go lower, but as of right now, this is not a high probability trade in any way. Usually what you want to see is some kind of shark attack. What's below us here from the Asian session? Are these Asian lows here? Yeah, these are Asian lows. So here, Asia range lows. So what's below here? Liquidity as well. Yeah, in a perfect world, before we go higher, we go into AR lows, tag that liquidity, turn around within the 1 hour BSC, and then start going higher. What will price do today? Oh, perfect. Okay. So the RTH gap, which is one of the most important things I look at every single morning, is currently sitting at 996 from Thursday morning, from Thursday at 4:14. So if I were to map that to today, currently we are trading below the RTH gap. We're 75 points below, which is good. Hopefully this gap stays open and it's larger than 50 after the 930 open. But I will be we're going to be if we open bearish, the consensus is, or at least the way I trade is, I'm always bullish at the 930 open every time we close below. Just because statistically, there is a 70% chance that midpoint will get hit. Midpoint will be taken for the 930 RTH gap. And if you keep continuing to trade that, just odds are in your favor, assuming you are taking A+ setups. You can see here price in my theoretical sell side and buy side efficiency. The way it should be drawn is like this, because there's a gap here. So what you do is you extend the fair value gap all the way to the bottom. Bodies are still staying within it. The inversion fair value gap still holding technically. bodies are within these FEGs. Then we're going to see if price is going to continue with this rejection here, just taking out liquidity and going lower, or is this going to mark the possible sign of the reversal, which it has these essentially three mini targets to take: a 943, a 49, and a 55. I don't think it's going to reverse here. I think it's going to keep going down, but we'll see. Trades like this back in the day, I lost a lot of money. It's like 1 in 5 chance it's going to go up and a 4 in 5 chance it's going to go down. But like assuming that this is going to go up, which I don't think it will, it would allow you to have like really tight stops with something like this. Like you get in here with a 3.5 stop and then you target these relative equal highs here or these here. So you're doing a 5-to-1 and a 7-to-1. But again, the chance of this order flow turning around right here is extremely low. Sometimes we look at the 15-second chart to see if we get any more confirmation, but you can see here, price created some significant SIBs on the way down. It did reject it. Price did stay in the lower half. So on the most recent 15-second order flow, it's indicating bearish. These are also relative equal highs here. If you guys don't take a trade today, I'll probably say that's a good thing. The chance of us taking a trade today, I'd say it's 20%. I want to see something very clean right when the energy of the market kicks in at 9:30 to 10 o'clock. Like that's going to be, I think, prime hour today. We'll see what happens at 8:30. That's when the algorithm kicks in, or the first one. And we'll see if the 8:30 algo runs. If not, then we'll wait for 9:30. And then if 9:30 doesn't show to 10, then most likely at 10:10 I'll close down the stream. And we'll call it a day. The price right now, it's still managing to close its bodies within these two levels that I've indicated. Once you see a body break below this, that's when it's the first sign that it's going to start failing to the downside. I'll be right back. So hot take, assuming that you didn't see this candle print down, would you guys see this as a high probability or a low probability long after this MMS here? Probably low. So the NWOG looks like it may possibly hold. What I want to see in this session ultimately is I want to see a drop to AR lows, some kind of reversal at open, and then we take a long like that. I guess like this is what I want to see. Something like that. That would be my ideal trade for today. We got some relative equal lows here below us. Price is probably going to tag first. And then the AR lows at the end. I was shorting in this AM session at 8:30. I'll probably say shorts look a lot better than longs, in my opinion. There's nothing right now long, either on the 1 hour, on the 15-minute, on the 5-minute. There's nothing indicating short. And I think my bias is going to be short until we hit these AR lows here. And we start entering the 1 hour busy. Can I take a short here, actually? Shorts are looking not too nifty. If you look at the 50-second chart, look at this. Price went exactly into this imbalance here, rejected it, came back lower. Perfection. Unfortunately, I can't short it from here because the RR is not going to be there for me. I do want to see it get to let's see on the 1 hour where it'll go. We got some imbalances here. We got our first imbalance. We got a lot of imbalances here to the downside. There's a lot of volume imbalances. Definitely indicating that price is leaning to the downside. I am tempted to short, but for me to short, I'd want to see it go up higher to one of these imbalances, reject it, and go lower. I just feel like after this run here, taking a short from here just wouldn't be wise at all, as it can retrace on me and then go lower. But I think for the interim, AR lows is the target that price wants to get to. Price is rejecting this 15-minute, 15-second SIBI pretty well. I like how this bottom formed on the 50-second chart. It's like rounded lows to attack. in the future. I'm going to take I'll take a quick short here. I'm risking only $50 per account here. Right before the 9:30 open. Looks them out. $50. I was surprised that we had such a bullish open here. But let me see here. I was expecting for price to drop lower after I saw so many closes below the midpoint of the SIBI and trading into this 1 minute SIBI as well. That's where I thought the turning point would be. Let's see. The 8:30 algo is gonna open in 1 minute. Price is reaching into these imbalances here that we've had. Right now it's pushing into, if you look at this MMS here, this right here is the breaker, all these up or all these down close candles. So right now it's pushing into that. On the 1 minute, if price were to go higher, like where were to go, right? And I think where would it go higher? There's nothing else. Like there's no other imbalances on the 1 minute. There's one small here, can push a bit higher, or it can go into this inversion level, which is the only up close candle with a gap here on the left side. And 8:30 has passed. We are in a possible algorithm right now. And price will do two things today. It's going to spool to a direction. I'm gonna short it once again here. This is my second attempt. The level that I'm targeting is 898. 898. So this is how my trade's looking like right now. It rejected all these imbalances here. It dropped down lower significantly. We're in the 830 algo. I'll label this trade as, I don't know, a B trade. I wouldn't say it's A plus. That's why I'm only risking less than half of what I usually do. And we'll see if it goes down to A or lows. Remember, today's Friday, no news, so altogether, it's a low prob day. Make sure I get the right level here on my Top Step X account. 898.25. Okay. I took out the first low here that I've indicated. These relative equal lows. And the expectation is that AR lows are going to be taken. I think that's going to be the terminus for the shorts today, hopefully. Cut it a bit lower here. Price is forming to the downside, which is good, indicating bearish pressure. I'm currently at break even right now for my trade. And it's either price taps me out of break even or it goes down lower and hits target. One or the other. All right. And guess I'm out for not too much. Still pennies in my opinion. $82 times my 5 accounts. So $400. Did anyone here take this trade? It's unfortunate that my first attempt, I did try shorting it from here, but it looks like it went a bit higher. It went into these, like if you're wondering where it went to these, these 1 minute SIBs, or not SIBs, sorry, volume balances. And then once it rejected that, that's when price started falling. So the moment I saw that price is probably going to go lower is the moment I saw these liquidity voids form to the downside. I started pushing into this civvy again. And once I saw that aggressive push lower and higher, that's when I entered. Right. So what am I expecting from, hey brother, just got here. Hey Alex. Good morning to you. What are we waiting for now? We are waiting for some kind of aggressive rejection off of these two levels here. So the liquidity has been taken from AR lows, which is your Asia range lows. And it's not so much of AR lows. This is also London lows as well. Okay. We want to see some kind of rejection. And then the trade that I'm going to be looking for after the open is going to be long after 9:30. Most likely, I won't be trading from now till 9:30. I think the primary target has been hit today, or the 8:30 run. And you can see here the studying price action. Look, exactly at 8:30, that's when price decided to pick its direction and go down lower. So it's coinciding with the 8:30 algorithm. And yeah, this is one of the algorithms that you can take. Like my initial miss earlier this morning was this. Like I tried going short from right here. I really wish price didn't go higher, but it did. That's like this is where my first trade was, and I had a feeling that it would go lower. That's where I had my stop above the midpoint of this bearish order block, and I did get stopped out here on the run up. But the moment that you start seeing PA with sharp candles to the upside, creating volume imbalances or volume gaps to the downside, tagged in with a specific algorithm, if it's the 950 to 1010 or the 830, that's where my buys still stay the same, even though I took a small loss. So that's that. Would I be pricing, or would I be chasing price lower here? Probably not. If I was still in this trade, I just personally, if I was, I'd be targeting this low right here from yesterday's Judah swing. But ultimately, you're starting to dig into the 1 hour BISI, which could start creating resistance against your trade. So, if you're looking for safe, low hanging fruit exits, it would be the Lend lows. Currently, we are how many points below yesterday's close? Let's see, 100. So healthy levels today for the open. If you guys have any questions about anything I'm doing, let me know. How to open multiple charts? Yeah, good question here. So on the top right, you don't see it on my screen right now, but yeah, hold on, let me do that. So on the top right here, you click on this button right here, layout setup, and you can pick what kind of layout you want. You can have I have a six window layout where I only share 4 of them on the live stream just because I don't want these windows to be too small. But the other window that I have open, which you don't see, is a 5-minute on the top right. And sometimes it helps me filter out trades ultimately. But I'll probably say I use the top right probably 5% of the time. And on the bottom right, I have another 15-second chart just because I want to show you guys the numbers on the bottom right. When I expand it, I have a really big monitor. So my monitor is 48 inches. So I try to optimize what you see in the most possible way using even windows that I don't really use at all. And if you can't do this, it just means that you don't have the right plan. So you might have to upgrade your trading view plan to see multiple, oh, sorry about that. So on the top right, there is a button that you can click. It's called Layout Setup. And you can just select what kind of layout you want. Okay. If you can't click on these, it just means that you don't have the right plan. So you will have to upgrade. The best time to upgrade is Black Friday, which just passed. That's when I buy a yearly membership for 60% off, really cheap. But all in all, that's how you do it. You can see price right now. And if I start talking too fast, let me guys know. I'm usually a fast talker. We can see price. Look, it rejected AR lows and it is coming to the upside. So again, this is why I took my profits at London lows, because if you're looking at significant levels, you always look at AR highs, AR lows, London highs, London lows, New York session highs, New York session lows, and the last one's going to be daily levels, right? Daily level highs. So right now, this is the daily low. And then we got our daily high, which I have marked with liquidity. So important levels to trade off of. And you'll see the majority of the reversals or targets that you want to take are at these levels. Okay. So price right now rejected these London lows. It's going higher. What I wanted to see is yesterday's lows being taken, digging into the 1 hour BISI, the daily SIBI, and then reversing. So I feel like I reversed a bit too early here. What price might do is it might go lower. I really hope it does that, guys. If it does, then probabilities for this setup here that I have indicated that we wanted to go lower. Let's do this maybe. And then we take it higher. This is the trade that I want to take today. About the fair value gap on live chart. Yeah, sure. Okay. So a fair value gap is essentially, it's a gap between two candles. So something like this. Like this is a fair value gap here. So it's between candle. So there's three candles, 1, 2, and 3. Candle 1's high and candle 3's low. And that space in between is considered a fair value gap. And there's two kind of fair value gaps. This one is labeled as you'll see me calling it as a BISI, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And then you've got SIBIs, which is something like right here. This is a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, fair value gap. And essentially the way these work is it's an area of price where price didn't deliver efficiently. It left a gap in the market. The easiest way to think about it is you have a paint roller and paint only rolls to one side of the wall. And usually what price wants to do, it wants to roll a second time to make sure that it's painted correctly. So in areas like this, it shows that A, there's bullish strength here, and B, price may come back down, repaint a portion of it, and continue going higher. There's also a lot of notes you want to take around fair value gaps. So how does price close above, or how does it respect the quadrants, or especially the two halves, the lower and the upper half? Like if these bodies were to stay on the upper half of the midpoint, then it would indicate bullish strength. Here it dipped slightly below. It still left an area that's inefficient, which is right here. Right there, right? That area is still not painted. And it is pushing higher, right? So this is like an example of a fair value gap. And you can do this on a 15-second chart, on the 1 hour, on the 15-second. It really doesn't matter. But at the end, it's about taking all of these PDA arrays that you use. It's painting a story that you can get behind a trade. So today I did that, going short twice. The first time it failed, but the second time I managed to get some profits off it. But it's creating that bias. And like, would I go long off of this fair value gap? No, I wouldn't. Why? It's because it's 850 right now. So we're past the 830 algo. It still might pump higher, don't get me wrong. But I'm looking for higher probable shorts. And what I want to do is I want to see price fail here, go down lower, tag yesterday's low, then reverse, then I take it long. And then I'm going to be looking for like an 8 to 1. So we got 40 minutes till open. And you'll see me trade like this every single day, but you'll never see me going, very rarely, if I see a lot of confluence factors going short, but I'll never go short if we're opening up bearish from yesterday's close. So right now we're bearish. We're 90 points below it. I am never going to chase price action down. I'm going to hope that price is going to go down, create some Judah, reverse, and then I take it long. So, all right. What will be the best time frame for FEG? So the answer to that is it's dependent on what time frame you trade on and how are you using that fair value gap. So in my opinion, the larger the time frame, the more weight that fair value gap has. So here are some fair value gaps that I have on the daily chart, right? Like if I go with the daily, right? I've got a daily BISI. I call it BB, but it should say BISI. This is going to be a more weighted fair value gap than this one right here on the 1 minute chart. But you will see me execute on the 1 minute chart with very fast stop losses and target profits. So I do leverage these a lot to get into my position, but sometimes it's based on a 5 minute fair value gap, a 15 minute fair value gap, and a 1 hour fair value gap, and a daily, right? So sometimes when I see that I'm trading into a 1 hour fair value gap, like against it, but I have a smaller one on that might deter me from taking that trade, right? So it's about really weighing all the PD arrays, seeing where price is at, and then taking a position. Like right now, this is another characteristic of a fair value gap here. Look how many times price went to this fair value gap. Like, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. I tried punching into it, right? Is this for me a high probability fair value gap? No, it's not. The way I want to see fair value gaps form and respected is I want price to jump into it once and then explode, or maybe twice max. But the moment I see something like this is indicating that this fair value gap might fail, and it's not considered a high probability fair value gap. Okay, so put that in your notes and really watch how fair value gaps are being respected. I'm not saying that it's not going to go up here. It's just what I want to see and what ICT wants to see is a quick rejection and price getting out of here. Can we use an indicator from TradingView for fair value gaps? Shall we draw it manually? Manually. There are fair value gaps, or there are indicators out there that draw fair value gaps. Do I recommend doing that? No. I think what you need to do is you need to train your eye to see them, understand how they work with higher time frames, cascade them, pick which ones you want to use, look how they're being respected. I think you have to put in the work to become profitable at trading. I think if you are looking at an indicator to give you fair value gaps, I think that is a path to failure. So you guys have to put in the work. The only indicator I have is I used to do this manually. I used to put in these new week opening gaps and these new day opening gaps in myself. But then I stopped because I found out that the indicator can do it a lot better than I can. And you do it once a day or once a week, depending on what kind of NDOG or NWOG you want to map in. But this is the only automation that I have here. Just that. No problem. No problem. So I think it's going to be pretty lackluster over the next 30 minutes until the open. Look at this. Price went again. And depends how you count this. Like, is this like 1, 2, 3, or is it like every single candle that tried going into it? It's just, it's really sitting. It's sitting on the upper half, which is good, but it's just so many taps here. I'm personally not liking it. And what it's doing right now, it's creating equal highs here. So price might tag these, or it might go lower and then tag these later. And attack them. Look at that. You're also looking at like relative equal highs and lows as quick target. We'll see what price will do today. Really tired today. Had a lot of family come over for Christmas and the holidays. Today's the first day that I'm trading. Very lightly, if I can say that. But I'm excited for like the week after next. Like I think like around like the 6th, that's when we should start seeing the markets come back to normal. Right now, let's actually look at, let's do a small exercise together. And let's look at how price reacted to the day after the 26th. Okay, so I'll go on the 1 hour here. Let's go to okay, so here is last Christmas price action. We're looking at the 25th is a dead day. 28th, 27th, 25th. Okay, so here is the 25th, which is not a trading day. '26th would have been yesterday. So this is like the Friday. So you can see here. I'm losing myself here. Okay, one sec. So the 26th was a Friday, technically yesterday, but like looking at like Friday's price action here. Once it opened up at 9:30, you can see it it didn't really pick a direction. It kind of moved sideways, right? So here's probably like the Judah swing. It went higher and then back low. So like it's like a ranging market to me, okay, on the Friday. Is this what we can expect from today? Probably. And then the Monday, which is the day after the 26th, you can see price had a weak opening, and then at 11 o'clock, it spooled higher, taking out some level here. I don't know what it took out. I didn't take out this high. So looking at this data, is this giving me confidence that the 9:30 is going to be great? Probably not. But let me look at, but what this shows me is that runs can still happen. But let me go back to 2023. Here's 2023. So 27th. The 27th is price. See what it did after the open. You can see here, created Judah to the upside, dropped lower, and it just moved sideways. See, this is low probability PA. So again, not looking the best. Let's go back one more year. Go to the 22nd. February, December 22nd. So we are looking at the 27th, which is a Monday, oh, it's Tuesday. Very active Asia session. And look, after the open, price just did nothing. It just kind of moved sideways as well. So we'll see. If price gives us like a really nice Judah today, we'll take it up. But right now, it's doing what I wanted to do. Like, this is exactly what I want to see. RTH gap to the downside, price breaking down lower. RTH over, it's probably going to be over 80 points or 100 points if it keeps dropping from here. Right now, it's like, what, 120 points? 100 points. My bad. So hopefully it takes down these equal lows here, punches lower, and then gives a reversal. And we're going to be targeting the midpoint of the gap, which is probably going to be somewhere here at this new week opening gap. Like, I think this is going to be our terminus, something like that. This is what I'm hoping for here. Something like that, like a 3.5 to 1 targeting, but we'll see. I'll get a bit more data in half an hour. I'm going to step away for 5 minutes, but if you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat and I'll answer when I come back. I ran it back. We're opening in 25 minutes. So probably not a lot is going to happen from now till then. Price right now is dropping to daily lows, which is good. This is what we want to see. We want to see daily lows taken. This is what we want to see. Let me move this all over. I want to see the open, some Judah going lower, punching into this 1 hour BISI. And then I want to see longs being taken. Ideal 930 open for me. We'll see. I'm probably not taking, I know I won't take any trades over the next 25 minutes. But look at this. What did price do on the 1 minute? It dug into these London lows. It retraced higher. To what level? To the last SIBI on the 1 minute here. And then price dropped. So that's what I was looking for. I was looking for inefficiency in the market. Dropped lower and then from now it's if you're in a trade and you manage to catch this right here, which if you did, that's great for you. I probably wouldn't target lower than the daily lows here. Like that's gonna be my if I took this, if I saw this as a high probability trade, and it was a part of my trading plan, then I would be targeting daily lows, which was yesterday's lows. Price most likely right now is probably going to trace back up to some level and probably push lower. I don't know if it's going to use a 930 to push lower. Like that's going to be the Judah, or if it's going to do it right now. But like we got an order block here that I might trade to, and then reverse, or I just might reverse out a sub 15-second level. Maybe this right here, if I were to guess. This probably makes the most sense. We got the order block here on the 1 minute. We got a pretty large fair value gap on the 15-second. See price here. It pushed up. See, it didn't touch that order block. It didn't quite touch this fair value gap here. What we want to do is just, I think to become better traders, just constantly look at how price reacts at what times of the day. Time is very important. The specific levels, and eventually over months, you start seeing price a lot better. Look at that drop. It's probably attacking the lows right now. What price did is it, if you're looking for like a narrative or a story of what it possibly did, is it just took out liquidity from like these relative equal highs here. Oopsies. Right there. And, you know, some liquidity from these highs that you see here, and it just dropped lower, leaving this fair value gap as a breakaway gap, which indicates bearish pressure, and you'll see it drop to daily lows, if not lower now. Let's indicate a daily low here on the 1 minute. So it's almost there. It's like 2 points away. So these levels are really strong here, and in your charts, I don't have them on my charts, but this is what makes good traders. Good traders is have the last 3 days leveled out or priced out. So just know where yesterday's low is, the day before's lows and highs, and the day before that as well. So I know that they're below where we are right now. The moment we start dropping lower, I'll put them in my charts. But as of right now, this is the only daily low that's of my interest currently. Before I see, or I want to see price going up higher. Opens in 18 minutes. Awesome. Awesome possum. If price isn't going to tag these daily lows before they open, it just means that most likely we'll get a Judah attacking yesterday's lows. Because what it just did here, it just created essentially this isn't a high probability relative equal low just because this low is lower than this one. But looking at just lows here on the 1 hour, I really feel like this is going to get tagged. If it doesn't before the 9:30, it's going to just spike down into it. So price will most likely do, I think, nothing till the open. I'm not expecting a massive move. If you guys enjoyed what you guys saw today, wouldn't mind you guys dropping a like on the stream. I will try to do daily streams from 8 all the way till 10:30. And then the goal is to hit top 25 of Top Step accounts. That's pretty easy, I think. It's just all of your accounts together have to make more than, I think, 70K in your top 25. Pennies. Money is relative. So you can see right now prices, it's just acting funny. It's acting a bit sporadic. It's moving sideways. Large wicks, large ranges to the downside, upside. This is typical behavior pre 9:30. Looking at like fair value gaps, and it's nothing meaningful right now. It's nothing that would even map to see how we're reacting to them. The last 15 minutes before an open is usually for me just a wash. The levels that we're looking at here, put a little eyeball for us to review in like 13 minutes. Is the level going to get hit? Most likely, yes. How much lower is it going to go? Unknown. I want to see it stay within this 1 hour BISI and above the midpoint of this daily BISI. But like the moment I start seeing price go lower, the lower half of the daily BISI, that's when I might not take any longs. I was looking for high probability setups today. And the lows have been taken. Yesterday's lows. Now it's just a waiting game for 10 minutes until we open. And then we'll start mapping our RTH gap. We're going to be looking for our first fair value gap after 9:30, and then we'll see if we can position the trade in. today is not a day where I'm going to risk high, or from a money perspective. I am keeping my risk either half of a trade or below that, of my usual risk, just because I will not be expecting massive runs today. Right now, the RTH gap is going to be, let's see how big it's going to be. It's going to be 130 points. Beautiful. This is what we want to see. And the consensus here is RTH gap. So we're opening below yesterday. So we're opening below yesterday's close. The market, the retail traders think that, we're opening lower. That means we're going to drop. But usually what what price does is tricks the retail traders into thinking that it reverses. It maybe starts to push lower, which is a Judah, reverses, and then it starts punishing everyone. Eight minutes till the open. Perfect. You can consider it to start weekly sessions on Sunday and not explain the fair value gap trades that you have taken this week. Yeah, I could do that. Or I might try just creating quick full videos, just summarizing what happened in these live sessions as they happen on that day. That might make a bit more sense for people. Thanks for the suggestion. We got 4 minutes open. 5 minutes. Let's see where, if we have any 15-minute levels that we can target. So this is what I see here on the 15-minute. Because I want to see if I can figure out if a judo were to happen, and if it would, how low would it go? But I feel like this might be a level that I might push to. Got a 15-minute bullish order block here. On the 1 hour, yeah, it's going to be anywhere. Yeah, like within here. I wanted to stop, so it makes sense with this bullish order block on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, you guys can't see the chart, but see here. I've got a similar fair value gap there on the 5-minute. The RTH gap will soon be calculated automatically. So another PD array that I have automatically calculated is the RTH gap. So right away it maps from yesterday's close to today's open, and it helps me find the midpoint. That's usually one of my targets that I target. All right, we got 2 minutes open. You can see that the indicator is trying to map that RTH gap on the 15-minute chart. This is exactly what I want to see, a push lower. So right now it's pushing into that 15-minute fair value gap that I talked about. That's indicated in blue on the top right. And price might continue pushing lower today, right? I'm not saying it's gonna go up, but if it does go up, then I'm gonna be anticipating a trade higher. Okay. All right, so 9:30. Oh, it's almost 9:30. Our RTH gap for today is 150, which is sizable. I'm gonna close this down here, and let's start watching price. So it pushed into this 15-minute fair value gap. It's gonna start tapping into the body of the 15-minute order block. Right now, price is trading into the lower half of the 1 hour BSI, but that's fine because it might just wick lower and then close up higher. You've got 10 seconds slower open. All right, let's F5 again. All right. The price it started off with pushing to the downside on the 15-second. The level that I'll be targeting at the end for Terminus is probably going to be the midpoint here. If not, the new week opening gap, if it pushes lower. let's see. The first item I'm looking for is the 15-second first fair value gap after 930. This is going to be target 1. Looking at the 4 on the 1 hour, very bullish order flow. So keep that in mind as well. So it's going to be a short scalp, if anything, here to midpoint, if we do see something. And if I said bullish, I meant bearish. You can see the 4-hour order flow here. This could be the pullback, or continue going lower. So we got to be careful. And same with here. It's creating higher lows and lower lows. Lower highs and lower highs and lower lows. Okay. All right. So we have all our levels here, all our levels here, and then we'll see how low price is going to go. So we have our first indicator that I'll be using for a possible long, and this is the first fair value gap after 930. It formed on the 931 candle at 931 and 30 seconds. I'll label this as first fair value gap, 15-second, and let's mark this as olive. And then most likely, if price closes out here, this is going to be our first fair value gap on the 15-second chart, or on the 1-minute chart. Okay, this is going to be the first fair value gap, 1 minute. It might not be this, but I think it will be in 2 seconds. Perfect. Okay. So for me to take a long, I would need to see price to be above these levels. Okay. I want to see price go up higher, break this at the upside, come back lower, retest it, and then I might take a long there. That's going to be the consensus. If price keeps going lower here, and it never does this, and it closes below the daily BISI, then my opinions will change. But for the interim, that's what I'm expecting. The price right now is breaking below the daily BISI. You can see this right here. It's very bearish right now. I would have to see like an aggressive move higher right now, like to the upside. The play that we're looking at right now is this daily SIBI going to be respected by price, and is price going to drop lower, or is it going to be acting as a fair value gap, and it's going to be going higher in the future? So that's kind of what we're trading against right now. So that's why it's very important that we see the right signatures on the 1 minute and on the hourly, that it is going to, at least for the short interim, go up higher and tag target 1, which is midpoint of RTH gap. So we'll see. If it doesn't happen, that's okay. I'll take my $400 for the day. Price right now is pushing to the end dog of December 24th. That's this week's, or yeah, this week's end dog. Very bearish price action. Is this something that I would try catching? No, right? These are trades that I let go of. And it didn't give me an opportunity to take a lower. Like usually price would go back up, touch the fair value gap, and push lower. Here in this case, it hasn't done so, right? It just dropped lower like a rock. So if you're feeling like you missed out on this run, very hard to catch consistently. We look for signatures of where price may go while affording good stop losses. And that's how you pull money for the markets. So most likely right now at 937, I don't think price is, it might, but I'm not expecting for price to move higher or to give us our move that we're looking at today. Right now it's pushing into a bullish order block on the 4-hour. There was a tiny volume imbalance. Look at this on the daily. I didn't see this actually. That's where it pushed to. Right there, little tiny volume imbalance, VI. Daily volume imbalance, which is a new day opening gap there. So these are true resistance support levels within the markets, these end dogs and end wogs. But we'll see. We'll give it till like 10 times, 10, 15. Right now trying to catch this to the downside, not advisable. At least not for me personally. Price broke the end dog. Where are you pushing, man? There's a lot of sell side sitting here on the 1 hour. You can see so all of these lows are higher than the previous low to the left, which is indicating low resistance liquidity. And maybe tapping into this, and it might be attacking this low here. Tiny fair value gap here of form. Okay. Price broke the end dog to the downside now. The price is just dropping like a rock. It created a lot of good upside targets for the future. I don't know when that's going to be. But these levels that I have here are like liquidity at at 110, right here at 107. These are all levels that will get taken in the future. Same with this right here. Midnight's never been tagged as well. Relative equal highs. So the massive drop down. So the 4 hour is going to close very bearish. It's still within the daily SIBI, but it is breaking that BISI there in blue that we have. We'll see. What I would want to see if I were to be taking along and I would want to see price rally back up to these highs, it's going to be, I want at least the bodies to close within this daily BISI here. So above this level. That would give me some hope that it might go higher, but it's still very, very bearish here. If you are trying to catch the bottom, wouldn't recommend it. Most likely you'll be wrong here. I don't know how long, like how much price is going to be punishing price to the downside. But even on the 15-second chart here, we're forming SIBs to the downside. Price is coming back up, rejecting it nicely, dropping down lower. Price can continue doing this for the next 1 hour, or it might reverse at some point. But it is very bearish. If I were to frame a trade, so assuming it closes like this below daily SIBI, it already moved 150 handles since the open. A lot. Would I be expecting it to hit these lows on a Friday of Christmas? I don't think so. It might close as a weird candle today. So as of for today, I think I'm only interested in longs. But because price action is so bearish and I'm not seeing any bullish strength right now, it might be one of those trades where we just watch together, analyze, and move on to the next trading day. I don't even see an opportunity to get short here, to be honest. Like after this push down, you could have possibly taken this short here. But assuming you did, you are going against the fact that you are exposed to this entire gap here, which price can fill, right? Because it's an inefficiency. It can go back up to this first fair value gap and wick above it. So like assuming you'd have a stop here, like first of all, your R is complete shit at this point. You'd have to assume that price would stop at this first fair value gap here on the 15-second chart. Just so many negatives against you, right? Price could easily just go back up, tag these highs, and then go lower. So taking a short off of runs like this, it's really hard to protect your stop. And maybe today it would have worked, but doing it consistently, you'll see in future streams that a scenario like this happens 1 in 10. And the other 9 times, it's going to punish these highs here. Yeah, like the next opportunity after that is there's no even fair value gaps formed on the 1 minute. The next one's going to be here. So if anything, I'd probably say the better trade today would have been something like this, where you're trading off of the 1 minute fair value gap. You're using the end dog as support as well, and then you take it down to a level. Probably these lows right here. Actually, hold on. Let's see. See, it's tough to even pick a level to the downside because we moved so much. How much lower is the price going to go? Could be these lows right here on the 15-minute chart. That could be target 1. Probably be that, to be honest. But right now you're just chasing price to the downside. And as ICT says, you should never chase price. And I think you have to be okay with, like, if you guys have any, you guys are not so much upset, but it's just not sitting well with you that price has moved 200 handles and you didn't catch it, or you took a loss. The moment that's upsetting you, I feel like that emotion is going to do a lot of damage over the long run. You have to see it as like, it's what price did today. It didn't give me an opportunity with my concepts that I trade that give me an edge. And there will be a trade next week. Right. Well, next week might be messy, but you know, in the following days. We got 13 minutes for the 1 hour to close. Sorry, I had to step out for a sec. So look at that. If you took the short here, trying to take these double blows here, price didn't hit it. But we'll see. Okay, so where's the 1 hour right now? It's sitting well below the daily BSC, the 1 hour CIBI. It retracted very low. So is it reasonable to see price going all the way back up to midpoint? Probably not, right? So still going to give, we'll see what happens at 950 to 1010. That's the last macro. And if I don't see anything significant to the upside, I'm going to call it a day. But the first MMS that I'm seeing here since the open is going to be right here. Like the moment it breaks this end dog to the upside and this high, that's the first indication that price might be shifting to the upside. So price rejected this first rally gap on the 1 minute. It rejected the end dog of 1224, going back down. It's going back down to the abyss. as long as price stays below this level here, for me, it's bearish. But we need to break this to the upside. Once it does, then I would take long. That's like the line in the sand that I usually do. And it usually works. Like it's a really good safeguard to either being long or short. We've entered the 950 algo right now. For those who don't know what it is, between the last 50-minute, or sorry, the last 10-minute, before an hour and after an hour. It's price sends a spool, right, in a direction. So we'll see what it does here over the next couple of minutes. The 15-minute is very bearish. Like technically we had an MMS here, a market shifter shift. Could this be the MMS that price just reverses and goes to the upside? Possibly, it could be, right? But is it high probability? No. So you guys have to really filter out what's high probability and what's not. Most likely, if I were to guess what were to happen, I think price is just gonna die out eventually, somewhere here. But if the 950 to 1010 algo decides to kick in and we see an aggressive push higher, we break this first rally gap, it comes down for a retest, that's gonna be my indication to take it long right away. And I'll be targeting the midpoint, and maybe I might have one contract open to the high here. But I don't see that happening today. I'll probably, I'd say a 10% chance, 1 in 10 that I'll see that happen. And if it does, great. I think that's going to be a really high probability setup. But for now, price is sitting below the end dog of 1224. You can see the bodies are relatively closing within a 1, closed right above it. ICT calls this a mohawk. He still sees it as valid. And then price right now, it's kind of in between the two extremes of a push down 170 points. It looks like it's losing steam. It has some PDAs to the upside. And it's currently, it's Friday as well. So keep that in mind. So low chance of happening, but I want price to do that, and then that, and then I would be long or something like this. That would be my trade for the day if price were to do that in the next 10 minutes. But the chance of this happening, very, very low. $15-minute, it's going to create most likely a SIBI right here. So that's going to be one more level it would have to break to the upside. It's indicating bearish order flow. So right now price is just dropping for today. I don't think price is going to hit this level here at 476. Move another 228 points on a Friday after Christmas. Probably not. What I think price is going to start doing is just dying out slowly. But we'll give it 15 more minutes till 10:10, and then at 10:10 I'll close the stream down. Unfortunate. will not be able to pay off my presence with today's trading day. So price rejected this end dog here at 1224. Push down lower, small market shift here on the 1 minute, and most likely it's going to keep going lower, I think. I just don't see a level right now on the 15-minute or on the 1 hour on where it might stop. It might be here. These equal lows that I've indicated below or before. Or I might continue pushing to this week's new week opening gap. So, but I think price is pretty much dead for today. But we'll give it 14 more minutes or 13. Quiet day today. Did anyone catch any wins today or trade? There's liquidity resting below that low. And then we also got liquidity here. There's these equal lows here to the left that it might target for today. Liquidity as well. You know what? On this note, I think I'm going to give it 2 more minutes. Just close down the stream. 10 o'clock is kicking in. We'll see if there's a spike up at the 10 o'clock hour. And if not, I'm going to start my Friday a bit early. As price is doing nothing here after 950. It's just decreasing the chance of it doing that magical push that I'm waiting for till 21.829. It has a higher chance of taking out these two levels of liquidity right now versus going up higher, in my opinion. The end dog of 1224 has rejected price 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So, you know, I'll catch a 15-second FEG at 15:23. So you are trading on a different time zone than I am. It's not 3 o'clock here. But if I were to guess, you caught it at 9:35. I'm assuming that you're 6 hours ahead of me, somewhere in Europe. So you probably caught it here, right? Created a fair value gap. It bounced off of the end dog, and then you took a short. So I see your trade. Yeah, 9:35. What a lucky guess. Where are you from? Europe? I know right now in Poland, it's 4 o'clock. But it looks like you're 5 hours ahead of me. So probably you're closer to the west side of Europe. Okay. All right, guys. It's 10 o'clock. price most likely is going to take out these lows here. Germany. There you go. What a lucky guess. There you go. It's taking out first liquidity level here and second. Bam. Or it's about to. Okay. All right. So for me, I'm going to call that a wrap. What price? Like if I already guess, and I always do try guessing what I might do in the future, it might continue pushing for the rest of the day to tag out this low, or at least the midpoint of this low, 21,520. Other than that, I'm personally not interested in any shorts, even though the market is dropping. I just don't see high probability targets that I can take. I'm going to take my 400 today that I made and call it a day. But I guess on that note, I will probably live stream on the 30th of the morning. And then again, most likely, I think later on in the week, maybe second or third. But as of the 6th, it's going to be regular live streaming, I think every single day, 5 days a week. So yeah. So all in all, last 3 live days, so far my strike rate's 100%, or the daily strike rate is 100%. My actual strike rate right now sitting at 60 on what I did live. So I'm very happy with my results, even though with all the, it is hard. There's a lot of pressure. But on that note, stay safe, guys. Have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and talk soon.